Hey guys, the weekend is upon us and it's the weekend of exciting football matches, and I'm super duper excited to share with you very exciting matches from the Premier League. It's the weekend we've been looking forward to after 2 weeks of watching international football, a week that very few people look forward to. So without wasting time, guys, let's get straight into the matches. So we've taken time to analyze 6 Premier League games with the best possible possibilities and results, and we need you guys to take a look as well. Do your own due diligence as well, and then we have the booking code at the end of the video for you guys to do the needful. So let's take a look at the very first game. So the first game in this selection is Manchester City versus Liverpool. This is what you call the clash of the titans, a very critical and interesting fixture that we have here before us. Manchester City at the top of their game versus a Liverpool team that is also on the come up, that's also playing very well. Two Premier League heavyweights. Now let's look at Manchester City's home form. 5 matches played at home, 5 wins. They've played against some of the best teams even before now, and they've been very impressive. Liverpool away from home, 5 matches away, 2 draws, 2 losses, and 1 win. When you take a look at their head-to-head, and one thing you see for sure is that this is a fixture that Manchester City has, had quite a very good bit of success. They've only lost once to Liverpool at home. They've only lost once to Liverpool at home. Every other game has seen Manchester City win or draw. What I find very interesting about this game is how a lot of people have spoken about how Liverpool will shock Manchester City and all that stuff. The truth of the matter is that Manchester City at home, with their players, the motivation they currently have, and even the quality of the team, will not succumb to Liverpool. Had Liverpool played Manchester City at Anfield, then I would have been tempted to give Liverpool the advantage. But the truth of the matter is that this is a fixture that Manchester City will win or draw. Manchester City will not lose to Liverpool, especially the current Liverpool squad. Had it been maybe the Liverpool squad of 2 years ago, I would have been like, yeah, it's possible. But I'm not seeing or expecting an upset. To this current Manchester City front, with all their injured players back, there were a few players that were injured. They are back training and should be available for selection. So the prediction for this game is simple. It's going to be a Manchester City win or draw for Manchester City. And the odds for that to happen, for that game, this very game, is 1.24. Okay? 1.24. And I mean, it also helps that we take a look at their standings. As I said, we can also take a look at their standings real quick to understand what this game would mean. So you look at Manchester City position 1. They wouldn't want to do anything to lose 3 points completely because they know Liverpool is just here. And if Liverpool gets to the top, it will be very difficult to bring them down. And they know that. The next game we have for you is from, again, the England Premier League. It's Burnley versus West Ham. A very interesting game. Okay, West Ham has been in very good form previously, but at the start of this season, they've really been struggling. West Ham shouldn't be where they are. So now let's take a look at West Ham away from home. 5 matches played, 2 wins and 3 losses. 2 wins and 3 losses away from home. They've been very disappointing. Burnley at home, and it's just been 5 losses all through. So it's going to be a very interesting game. And we take a look at their head-to-head. When you look at their head-to-head, you see that this is a fixture that, both teams have had a fair bit of success, okay? With Burnley winning twice and West Ham winning and drawing the remaining 3 matches. So this game has to be looked at from the angle of the handicap. We know West Ham is naturally a strong team. West Ham is just having these challenges they're having because they have to compete in the European games and also in the Premier League. So it's they have a stretched squad for many competitions. And that's why they're having these many difficulties that they're having. So we have to give West Ham 2 goals handicap. That even if they lose to Burnley, they're not going to lose by more than 2 goals. And Burnley has not been in any better form. Imagine playing at home and losing 5 times. So against a West Ham team that wants to pick maximum results, they will definitely want to get a few positive results of either winning and drawing or even beating Burnley, as other teams have done. But for the benefit of the doubt, we will give West Ham a 2 goals handicap against Burnley. The next game we have for you is also similar to the Manchester-Liverpool game. A very interesting fixture. Newcastle versus Chelsea, 2 Premier League heavyweights. Or Newcastle becoming a Premier League heavyweight in recent times. Now we look at Newcastle's home form. 5 matches played, 4 wins and 1 draw. Chelsea has really come up, to my surprise. 5 matches played away, and Chelsea has won 3 times, 1 draw and 1 loss. Equally very good away from home. And now we look at their head-to-head. Their head-to-head shows that it's a fixture that Newcastle has had quite some success. Even before they were bought by the Arabic people who have a lot of money, they had that bit of success against Chelsea even before that time. As you guys can see here, they've only lost twice to this Chelsea team, and the other times they've won or drawn. Now, this is where it gets interesting. Newcastle lost their last Premier League game, and that was an away game, okay? And they have an opportunity right now at home to get a couple of points, to redeem themselves before their fans. So even though Chelsea has, been on the come up, actually, Chelsea has been pretty inconsistent, okay? When you expect them to perform, they don't. When you don't expect them to perform, then they perform. But the truth of the matter is that Newcastle has a really good form at home. The only team they lost in their last 5 matches was Dortmund, and it was in the Champions League. And it's understandable that they lost this game. They've been on a very scintillating form at home. If this was an away game, then I would have been scared of Newcastle. But at home, Chelsea will find it very difficult to beat Newcastle. So our prediction is simple. It's a game that Newcastle should win in 90 minutes. But we'll give Newcastle the benefit of the doubt. So we are basically saying that Newcastle will win or draw in 90 minutes. That's the prediction we are giving to Newcastle. And the odds for that to happen is 1.49. The truth of the matter is that it's a game that's likely to end in a draw. Right? It's a game that's likely to end in a draw, in a 1-1, 2-2 draw. But it's not a game that Newcastle should lose at home in this moment. So that's our prediction for this game. And of course, as I said, the odd is 1.49. The next game we have for you guys is from the England Premier League again. It's Brentford versus Arsenal. A very interesting game. Arsenal away from home, 5 matches, 3 losses, 1 win and 1 draw. Now what's interesting is that we need to look at the nature of the games that Arsenal lost away from home. First, they lost in the Champions League, which is understandable. And sorry to say, but Arsenal is not a Champions League team, especially when they play away. Then they lost to West Ham in the EFL Cup. We understand that they weren't really interested in that cup. They just wanted to get out of it, so they lost. And then they lost to Newcastle. And as I said previously, Newcastle's home ground is tough. It's a very difficult ground to go there and win. So what that means is that against Brentford, Brentford that has lost twice at home, won twice and drawn 1. Arsenal will not have a problem. Now we look at their head-to-head. Arsenal has won twice out of 3. And Arteta, their coach, will not want to lose any more points. This is going to be a very critical game for Arsenal. They will not want to lose any more points at all. It's also important we look at their standings to see what this game would mean. So when you look at their standings, one thing you see that Arsenal is position 3. Brentford is position 11. So Arsenal has way more incentive to play very well in this game and pick maximum results. So it's for this reason that we are saying that the game involving Brentford and Arsenal will double chance Arsenal to win or draw in 90 minutes. And the odds for that to happen is 1.21. The next game we have for you guys is from the England Premier League again. It's Sheffield versus Bournemouth. Now we look at Bournemouth away from home. 5 matches, 3 losses, 1 draw, and 1 win. You look at Sheffield, 3 losses, okay, 3 losses, 1 draw, and 1 win. They literally won their last game, I think, 2 weeks ago, a shock win against Wolves. So what's really interesting is that we take a look at their head-to-head, right? So when you look at their head-to-head, you realize that it's a result that has been mixed for both Sheffield and Bournemouth. So our prediction here is Bournemouth has been in the Premier League longer. They know how to play this type of games. And the teams they lost to away were teams that that were stronger than them, right? So it's a game that ordinarily Bournemouth should win or draw in 90 minutes. But if you are not comfortable with that prediction, you can give Bournemouth a 2 goals handicap. So what we are saying is, it's a game Bournemouth should win or draw in 90 minutes. And the odd for it is, for Bournemouth to win or draw in 90 minutes is 1.36. But you can also give Bournemouth a 2 goals handicap. Okay? It's also important we look at their standings to understand what this game would mean for the teams involved. So when you look at their standings, you see that Bournemouth is position 16, Sheffield is 18. So Bournemouth will want to pick at least a point to move up the table and increase their league position in this table. The final game we have for you guys is from the Premier League again. It's Luton Crystal Palace. We look at Crystal Palace away from home. 5 matches, 3 losses, and 2 wins. Interestingly, Crystal Palace lost to teams that were, better than them, like Newcastle, Manchester United, and Aston Villa. But teams that are usually on their level, they tend to defeat these teams or to draw. And then you look at the head-to-head. The head-to-head has been pretty mixed, even though they played a long time ago. They started playing a long time ago. They haven't met recently. So in view of Crystal Palace form, and of course we take a look at Luton's home form as well. 3 losses, 2 draws as well. They haven't been convincing. They haven't won any game at home in their last 5 matches. So when you look at Crystal Palace home away record, their pedigree in the competition, Luton's not so good home record. What we are saying is we are basically giving Crystal Palace 2 goals handicap. It's a game that Crystal Palace should win or draw. That's an option you can go for as well. But we are giving Crystal Palace a 2 goals handicap that even if they lose, they are not going to lose by 2 goals. And the odd for that is 1.08. So these are the predictions we have for you guys. And of course, we have the Sportybet booking code for you guys. And please be careful with the predictions. Do your due diligence as well. And the players are still returning. And, we are still observing these matches in the league. And we wish you guys every bit of success. Thank you.